My name is Mahadeo Robin Bholai, and we are at Farm 2 in Carlsen Field, Chaguanas. This is primarily a dairy operation, but we do some rabbits and sheep, chickens and all that for the domestic market. The main idea is to produce milk, and we produce a pasteurized milk which we sell at the farm gate, and the excess milk goes to Nestle. I'm in the dairy farming business for the last 18 years or so. And we breed and try to breed a cow that is called the Jersey, and we crossbreed it with the Holstein. The Holstein being the biggest milk producer in the milk and dairy business, but the Jersey has a higher fat content. So when you crossbreed them, you get a little less milk, but you get better quality milk. My children were doing A-levels, preparing to go to university, and they were planning to do, two of the 5 children were planning to do agriculture. So I said, if you're doing agriculture, you must have land. So I acquired the dairy farm. It's a leasehold property from government. And I said, well, we could do both dual, dairy and some agriculture products like dahi and corn and this kind of thing. But them fellas move on and leave me in the dairy. I have a problem with people going to university, studying agriculture, and they either put in teaching service or in the government service, and nobody come back to really work. So I said one of the problems I typed out was land. So I tried to provide land so they could actually come out and practice what they learn and show people how to do it. So that's how I end up on the acreage and get stick in dairy. A typical day on the farm starts about 5, 8 a.m. in the morning. Get up, get breakfast, get yourself organized, they come down in the pen. The animals they are a creature of habit, so the majority of them will come to milk. But you'll find one or two would be like hardened children, and slacker in the back, and you have to go and get them. So you make sure we organize that, and by 7 a.m. average time, we're ready to milk for the morning. So we finish milking at about 8:30 and get the dairy cows back out into the pasture to feed. They are not intensive, they are extensive. So they only come in the pen to milk, and then they go back out to feed it for the day. And sleeping and enjoying themselves, chewing their cuds and all that. Oh, there's a lot of challenges in the dairy business, whether it be dairy cows or dairy goats. One is dairy, a lot of challenges. One of the biggest challenges is a problem called mastitis. You could milk a cow, like this evening you could milk all the cows perfect, and in the morning one could come in with mastitis. I mean, that milk is dumb. And it comes up. Bacteria would get up in the other and handle the milk more or less. So it's not good, and then it's expensive to treat, and then you have to dump the milk for about 6 days, 6 milkings, depending on how serious the mastitis is. Because you have to use antibiotic, and then once you use antibiotic, you have a withdrawal period. So the milk will be dumped during that period. The joy in dairying is a love for dairying because there are no financial rewards. It's like spinning up in mud. But when you call a cow and by her name and she comes and she walks into the pallet of milk, that is a satisfaction that nobody could pay for. At the inception of the dairy farm, it was acquired as a going business with some half-dead cows and some stragglers, and just the people were just making do with what they had to keep the lease and all that. And I decided to upgrade the breeds and doing some work looking at the cow breeds that you use. And everybody was recommending Holstein because Holstein was the biggest milk producer. But further work tells that the Jersey is a smaller cow. It's more adaptable and could tolerate the tropics better than the Holstein, because the Holstein being a temperate cow. And I decided like 15 years ago to start crossbreeding. So there you find almost a full purebred Jersey that started, the mother was a Holstein about 5 generations back. And all the breeding we do, we use government AI, artificial insemination services. So we don't mind a bull on the farm. The reason for not minding a bull on a farm It is very dangerous to mine a bull.
Yeah. What's some of the dangers in mining bulls?
Well, a lot of, and it is as bad as a lot of farmers around here lost their lives.
Okay, so the bulls just be more aggressive.
Very. And there's a term you use, you don't ever turn your back on a bull. It could be tame like what?
Yeah.
You don't ever do that.
Whoever turn your back on a bull.
You don't know when he's going to trip.
Right.
And you go pay for that with your life. A lot of animals carry horns, but the aim was really to dehorn them. And if you look at some like this, he was dehorned, that one there was dehorned. But some miss the loop.
Right.
And they grow out with horns. But horns is dangerous because they could just swing their head and hook you and with no intention of really damaging you, but you will get damaged. So for that reason, we try to dehorn them. And they have their own hierarchy too. One of the nice thing about managing cows is you, as the farmer, must understand the cow's hierarchy. And if this cow is second to that cow in the hierarchy, you could do what she ain't breaking that, because when they go back out, they go pay for it. Diamond, go and feed now. So, dairying is an expensive thing. Scientists around the world prove that dairying is an expensive thing and it need help from government. And the government of Trinidad could be more proactive in assisting dairy farmers in ways that are not really monetary, but it could be in intangible ways, like providing a grass bank where we could get grass year round. And it must be a grass bank that public holiday can walk in, because animals they want to know about public holiday and Sunday and Saturday. So they must be designed in a way that you could get grass all the time. And as for pasture management, they could set up a tractor pool or something, you know, where you could go and say, okay, I want a 5-acre place, plow and harrow and rotovate and prepare for putting on a fresh pasture grass, because without grass, you have no milk industry. The cows eat grass, they turn it into milk, the farmer milk the cows. You feed some concentrate, that is to get them in the habit of coming to get something. So they're not really studying them coming to milk, and they're studying them coming to get a little concentrate. And they behave themselves while they eat, and you milk them, and everybody is a give and take, is a happy situation. We get interest from like that from primary school and sometimes the kindergarten kids, mostly from the town areas that never see a cow and them kind of thing, want to come on the farm. And we do encourage it. Once the request is made, we work out something and encourage it, because they don't know you might spring a farmer. You don't even have to think with the future dairy farming is. We know it's going downhill and a fast rate. You just have to check with Nestle, and when it's to buy 10 and 15,000 kgs of milk, and now it's down to about 3,000 kgs or less. The farmers are aged people. Right through the farms here, they are aged people. The young people, they can't buy no Prado off a dairying.
So you find like the younger generation, they're not really interested in
Not interested. Some of them, if a farmer were to pass away and a son or grandson decided taking it up, most of it lasted 3 or 4 months when you realize the kakara ain't coming in, and for the amount of work we're putting on it. So that's why I said earlier in the interview that it's a labor of love. And if that ain't there, and you're only looking at finances, and you're keeping your records to the T, and you only see not, minus, how long you'll continue like that?
The dairy farming is the mainstay of the farm, but it's also an integrated livestock farm. The other products that we have on the farm, other animals we have on the farm, small amounts of small ruminants in terms of the sheep production and other production as well. We also have tilapia production in terms of the aquatic aspect of it, as well as some small say home type fishes like guppies and hillies, as well as freshwater crayfish. These are some of the other things that we have on the farm in terms of the other components of the livestock aspect of the farm. So this is the on the spot records of the dairy farm, where we have the animals' names and identification numbers. For example, the milk production, the feed consumption, the last calving dates, the last service dates, the pregnancy diagnosis information as well. Another important information that we need to know on a day-to-day basis is written on this board. The information from this board now will be very helpful in our management decision of the herd from there. The information is also backed up afterwards on written copies, but this is the main catchment, the day-to-day information that we refer to. And you have to keep this information as updated as possible to give us to help us in the management decision that we need to know at the given time.